Hey, horror fans! Once again, it's the Horror Miser Monty G. Yes, time to do another movie review, and today we're going to review the movie Venom. Yeah, we are Venom. Now, Venom is a 2018 superhero movie. It was directed by Ruben Fleischer. It was written by Jeff Pinker, Scott Rosenberg, and Amy Pascal. It stars Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock Venom along with Michelle Williams and Riz Ahmed. Now, this is obviously something that's been in the works. I'm pretty sure Marvel wanted to create this, give Venom its own movie after the disaster that was Spider-Man 3. That was a poor interpretation of the character, and let's just hope they actually learn from their mistakes and actually do a pretty good job. So let's hear what I have to say about Venom. Now, I must say I was very pleased with this film. It's a very entertaining and very funny film of this character, and it's definitely a highly improvement of the character in Spider-Man 3. Yes, I really give them much praise for what Ruben Fleischer and the filmmakers and the screenwriters did, and of course, obviously, Tom Hardy's excellent performance as a character. Now, one of the good things I do give them credit for is that they decided not to include Venom into the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the MCU, which is a good idea because a character like this deserves its own story. So all you see in this film is just Venom. There's no Easter eggs about Spider-Man. There's nothing about any other characters in the Marvel Universe. It's strictly anything involving Venom and the central other characters that involve Venom and the symbionts. Now, the plot of this story is very simple. We have Carlton Drake, who decides to think that society and Earth and the people on Earth are on borrowed time. It's not going to be long before we will consume our natural resources, and the only survival is out there. And so he gets 3 of the symbionts. He had 4, but 1 broke out. And he's trying to bond symbionts along with humans. One escapes and eventually bonds itself to Tom Hardy's character, Eddie Brock. Now, Eddie Brock, he's an interesting character here. He obviously escaped from some type of mess in New York. He's in San Francisco. He's engaged to a high-priced attorney named Ann Wensing. I think that's how you pronounce her name. But unfortunately, Brock just can't stop being the investigative drone that he is when he has to investigate Carlton Drake. And unfortunately, he hits rock bottom. But his life really changes for the better after he bonds with the symbiont. Now, what really drives this movie well is the performance by Tom Arnold. He does a fantastic job, both as Eddie Brock and, of course, being the voice of Venom. He basically said that he wanted to give 2 distinct voices, something similar to what Kevin Conroy does with Bruce Wayne Batman. You know, you have the nice lighter voice of Eddie Brock and the deep, darker tone of Venom, which I thought was very fascinating. It's this particular relationship that really drives the picture. Now, this isn't a Jekyll and Hyde personality that we have here. These are 2 separate entities that are happening to share this one particular body, and they both have their wants and they both have their needs, but they decide to work together in order to fulfill both their needs, and that's what really drives this performance, and that drives the movie too. Now, even though Carlton Drake is your typical cliche bad guy, at least his motivations are quite clear. Basically, he thinks that the only solution to saving mankind is bonding with these symbionts. And so he actually does a pretty good job with his motivation. So you got to give Riz Ahmed a very good job for his performance as Carlton Drake. And of course, he actually bonds with a symbiont called Riot, and he does a pretty good job in his performance as well. It's very different too, contrasts between Venom and Riot. Riot obviously wants his own; he has his own motivations, and so does Carlton Drake. But I like that play on that one, even though he has a typical cliched villain. He's not out to destroy the world. He actually thinks by saving it is out in space. Not on Earth. I even like Michelle Lee's performance as Ann Wensing in this movie. She is not the typical damsel in distress female lead. She actually holds her own. Her and Tom Hardy had some nice chemistry together. You can tell that the 2 characters Eddie and Ann really loved each other, and she was very disappointed in him when he goes against her wishes because he actually took advantage of her and he used her. But you can still see that they're they still care for each other. And there's one point in the scene where we actually see, I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know, her character actually does come for the comics. I won't mention what she is, but it was funny seeing that particular point in the movie. And I thought that was a nice play. Because you will, like I said before, you will see some Easter eggs, but it all deals with the Venom character. It has no other type of Easter egg involving Marvel characters or the MCU or in this movie. Now let's talk about the design of Venom, and I really have to give the filmmakers credit because they actually did a better job in designing Venom as it did in Spider-Man 3. You have his eyes, his head, those razor-sharp teeth, and of course that tongue of Venom. That's all featured here, and it gives him the direct look that strictly comes out from the comics. That's where I really appreciate this film. His mannerisms and how he is. You know, he's very big, he's very bulky, he's very strong, and I really appreciate how they really did him in this film as opposed to what they did in Spider-Man 3. Now, the CGI that they use on Venom is also pretty good as well. It takes full advantage of his powers. Unlike, I think, in the comics, I know he has organic webbing. Here they use all parts of his body, and I thought that was pretty fascinating too. I actually like some of the fight scenes early in the picture when he's battling the SWAT team. I thought that was pretty good too. The only problem I did have is the design of Riot. Now, I thought the Riot symbiote looked like a big gelatin mass of blob. Really didn't look that well. The fight scenes, well, they did get creative in the use of weapons that the Siemens can do. I thought their fight scenes was kind of corny looking. It looked like big wads of string being pulled apart. I did like this one scene, which I actually got from the comics, where the symbiont actually pulls the other symbiont off out of the other character, which I thought was pretty good. A good job on how they did it, but like I said before, that's the only bad negative part I have about the film was the design of Riot and their fight scenes between Riot and Venom. Now, despite what I've heard some of the critics are saying that they're really tearing this film apart, I don't get it. I don't know what they're expecting to think. No, they're saying it was inconsistent. There was no inconsistent tone in this movie. I ain't find anything wrong with it. Obviously, Tom Hardy does a fantastic job as Eddie Brock and Venom. I had no problem with the villain, even though, like I say, he was a bit cliched. I had no problem with the practical effects or the CGI with Venom. Or, no, like I said, only had a problem with Riot, but I don't know what they were thinking, what they're expecting. This is a very good, not great, but very good movie. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything fantastic. I wasn't expecting the level of Avengers Infinity War. I was expecting something a little more better than Spider-Man 3. Something on the lines of maybe Ant-Man or Ant-Man and the Wasp. Obviously, this is nowhere near as Black Panther. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. But this is a very nice, I guess you can call it a nice origin story. What I'm also very happy was that the fact that we didn't have a lot of exposition either for the people who are not familiar with the character at all. You got right to the point. You didn't waste 30 minutes of exposition. So I really appreciate what the filmmakers did and making sure that anybody who's not familiar with these characters to sit back and enjoy a nice film. I mean, come on, guys. What to expect? This is not Shakespeare in the Park. So, like I said, I really enjoyed this film a lot. I thought it was a great way to get Venom started. I'm pretty sure that with the post-scene, I should say, mid-ending credits, I will definitely see a sequel that will involve a very special, very known character from the comics in the sequel. And I'm pretty sure that people who've seen this film know what I'm talking about. So, Horror Miser is going to open up his vault. And I'm going to give Venom 4 out of my 5 gold coins. Yes, I'm going to give Venom 4 out of my 5 gold coins. Really did enjoy this film. I think it's a great way to start a great franchise for Venom. So, my horror fans, what do you think about Venom? Do you think this was a great way to start a franchise and this was a very surprising film? Or do you agree with the critics and it was just, I wasn't interested? Leave your comments down in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about Venom. Well, that's my video for today, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And this is your first time here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you can come and enjoy the horror experience with me, the Horror Miser Monty G. And as always, all my social media links will be down in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror rules. I'll see you guys later. I'm out.